Yeah, we are live, sir. We'll wait for a couple of minutes and we'll start with the video.
Yeah, we can play the video again, no problem.
Sure, sir. Yeah, we are live, sir. We'll wait for a couple of minutes and we'll start with the video.
Yeah, we can play the video again, no problem.
Sure,
Yeah, we can play the video all over again. We can keep playing the video.
Sure, sir. Dr. Bakshi is also there. 1 second. I'm just pinning Dr. Bakshi. Dr. Bakshi, your video is on mute. Can you please unmute yourself? And please open your camera a bit. Start with the video.
Yes, okay. Okay. Yeah, we can play the video all over again. We can keep playing the video.
Sure, sir. Dr. Bakshi is also there. Sir, I'll be starting with the video. I'm sharing the screen and starting with the video.
करती दिन रात इलाज है जो क्यों उन बाहों को भूल गए तुम कहते थे भगवान हमें क्यों उस भगवान को भूल गए हम जान की ना परवाह किए बस खड़े हैं सबकी ढाल बने ना मानो तुम भगवान हमें पर मान लो तुम इंसान हमें तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू तेरी नदियों में बह जावा तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू इतने बिगड़े हालात थे जो पर हमने फर्ज न रुकने दिया तब थाम के तेरी नब्ज़ तुझे ना मौत के आगे झुकने दिया बीमार है जो किस धर्म का है एक पल ना हमें ये ख्याल हुआ सफेद जो पहनी वर्दी थी अब उसका रंग क्यों लाल हुआ तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू तेरी नदियों में बह जावा तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू
मेरी रेवार वाली व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हो इस पे।
Hi sir, over to Dr. Bakshi for taking over the webinar.
Just wait on. We are waiting for the national president. I'm just connecting to him.
Yes sir, we'll wait sir.
We'll wait.
Sure sir.
Recording in progress.
Acha, then okay, you joined, so he will. You joined, so okay, then he'll try and find you because I'll ask him. I'll just ask Vinod to speak to you. He'll recognize you and promote you to faculty. I will just tell him to speak to you, sir. Yeah, I will just ask him to promote you. Vinod, the national president has joined us, but he is not joined from the email link. So can you call him, please?
Yes sir. Dr. Poonam, I'm talking to Dr. Poonam.
No, Dr. Poonam and Dr. Jialal.
Doctor is there. I'm just promoting him to panelist. Yeah.
Promote them, and Dr. Jialal has also joined. He's told me that he's seeing the screen. Dr. Jialal is coming. Dr. Jialal is coming. Okay, right.
Hello.
Dr. Poonam Gulati ko bhi kar lo. Dr. Jialal is here with us.
Sir, Dr. Tanisha Deva also.
हाँ मैं बोल रहा हूँ उसको बेटे विनोद को बोलो.
Hi sir, Dr. Gulati is also there and Dr. Jailal.
Fine. So then Dr. President is joined. So we can then Dr. Gulati can start. You may play that song once again for the national president.
I will play the song again. Just give me a minute. I'm sharing.
There's no voice. There's no volume. There's no volume. There's no voice. नहीं आवाज नहीं है.
मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू तेरी नदियों में बह जावा तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू।
और कहीं से भी चला
इतने बिगड़े हालात थे जो पर हमने फर्ज न
कैसे नेट चल रहा है
तब थाम के तेरी नब्ज़ ना मौत के आगे
आपको
झुकने
होगा
दिया।
जब बोलूं तो
बीमार है जो किस धर्म का है एक पल ना हमें ये ख्याल हुआ। सफेद जो पहनी वर्दी थी अब उसका रंग क्यों लाल हुआ। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। तेरी नदियों में बह जावा तेरे खेतों में लहरावा इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू। ओ, 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 ओ,
I represent the collective consciousness of the medical profession. Even I'm suffering from COVID. I'm having COVID pneumonia, which is progressive. But even then, remember Raj Kapoor's word, the show must go on. Picture abhi baki hai.
Over to Dr. Gulati. Sir, can you please take over?
Yes, thank you. I guess we are now able to start. Now, I'd like to welcome you all to this meeting, which has been called at a point when we have a very burning agenda of the assault on doctors. And this agenda and this matter is not new to us. We have all risen from our grassroots fighting this thing, but it has come to a point where when we have started out as frontline workers, especially in a pandemic situation like this, now we have become the last line of defense for the public, and yet we are at the receiving end of assault, verbal, physical, mental, and even all sorts of things that to the extent that doctors have gone ahead and sadly and unfortunately lost their lives. The pain that has come through this song that we have just played as a fitting tribute to our frontline COVID warriors, it is come at a point when these warriors have laid down their lives, and nothing can be more demeaning than this, that our doctors are being assaulted while working. It is just like the army is fighting on the front line, and we are going from the back and throwing stones at them. So today's meeting has been very important, and we are it is our proud privilege to host this thing, this meeting, and we have the presence of the national dignitaries from IMA. We very warmly welcome our national president, Professor Jayalal, our Secretary General, Dr. Lele, and all the members of the IMA who are office bearers, and of course, proudly from our South Delhi branch, which represents a 5,000 doctors from the South Delhi in Delhi. So we are very happy to be represented as with the Dr. A.K. Srani, who is the Joint Secretary, one of the senior Joint Secretaries at the IMA, and Dr. Rajiv Sinha, who is the Assistant Secretary at the IMA. And also, it is our privilege that we are guided very closely by our mentor, Dr. G.S. Grewal, who is the DMA President, and he is ably assisted by the other dignitaries from our Delhi Medical Association Executive Branch, our Secretary, Dr. Gambhir, and Dr. Bhandari, and all the members of the executive, and also the team at IMA South Delhi, our Finance Secretary, Dr. Bakshi, and Dr. Sanjeev Sachdev, and all other members are here. So with this, I would also like to mention on behalf of Dr. S.C.L. Gupta, who is a very senior member of the association, who has put his heart and soul and all his life into the association. But we work in the same hospital, and he's the medical director, and he has been called for an emergency meeting. So he is attending to that much as he would like to attend, but he just cannot get away. Maybe he will join at some point of time if he's able to get free. So on his behalf also, being one of the most senior members of our branch and Delhi, I welcome you all to this gathering, and we would like to hear from our national president and other dignitaries on the roadmap for our future this thing, steps that we need to take to prevent this thing. As you all know, we have many of us have risen from agitational politics to conversational politics, but we do look forward that it does not come back to our days of agitation. In this pandemic, we are allowed to work, live, and let live. We are allowed to serve the purpose for which we set out every day through to earn our living through this very missionary kind of profession, which is being targeting from all sides. With these words, I would like to welcome our national president, Professor Jayalal, and we all look forward to his words of wisdom. Dr. Jayalal, please.
Thank you very much, the leaders of Indian Medical Association, especially Dr. Gulati, the president of the IMA South Delhi branch, the state president of the Delhi state, Dr. Grewal, the secretary, Dr. Ajay Gambhir, the secretary of the branch, Sanjeev Sachdev, and R.K. Bakshi, and the dignified leaders of the Delhi South branch and the other members of the Delhi state. On behalf of the Indian Medical Association, we would like to thank you for this opportunity you have given to meet you at this moment of the very important period in the life of Indian Medical Association. We are advocacy for the safety and security of the doctors for the long time period across the country. Because of the sustained efforts of Indian Medical Association in different parts of the country, nearly 21 states has already enacted the hospital protection law to ensure safety and security of the doctors working in that state. However, being a state law, the implementation has a lot of problems. The law is not tooth with much bite. The cases are not adequately filed. The follow-up the cases are not being taking place. When the central IPS officers are coming, they are not aware of the state law, and they are often in a trouble to file the case according to the law and to proceed with that law in the respective state. In the last year itself, we have more than 300 cases are filed, but still the very, very few cases only see it in the logical end, because there is no time frame, there is no IPC or CRPC sections attached with the law. But we are insisting that if there is a central law which encompassing the CRPC or IPC law, it will have more truth, and the implementation and the involvement of all the police personnel to put the law into effect will come into act very effectively. When we were perceived this in the 2019, when after an incident of very violent assault on the doctors happened in Calcutta, the government agreed to bring for the central protection law. The interministerial committee was formulated. The job of drafting the law was given to Indian Medical Association, and with consultation with all the stakeholders, a very stringent hospital protection law was enacted. It was approved by the interministerial group, and finally it was rejected by the Home Ministry, stating that health being a state subject, a central law cannot be enacted, and only for a particular group of people we will not be able to have a law. Then everyone others will be also starting for that law. we regret for that the Home Ministry couldn't understand the situation, the gravity of the conditions which is happening at that time. If you see even any literature evidence on the papers published, we see the workforce violence is 4 times higher in the hospital than any other industry in the world. Most of the industries will have the less manpower and more of the equipments and the machineries will be there. The input will be the raw material and output will be a different. If you see the hospital as an industry, everything it is only manpower. Whether it is a patient as the input coming or a attendant is coming with the patient or the people working there, doctors or the paramedical, everybody is a manpower. And also all these people are working in a very tense atmosphere. So always there is a more chances of developing the violence inside the hospital. So the government should have been realized the need for developing a protective, exclusive law for the healthcare professionals. But unfortunately, the Ministry of Home has refused at that time. And another reason they cited, it is health being a state subject, central law, it is not tenable. But if you see many acts which has been enacted by the government of India, especially the PCP&DT Act in 1994, and it is only a central act. MTP Act, health is also related to the health, but it is enacted by the central act. The Clinical Establishment Act is enacted by the central government. There are so many incidents in which central has enacted law, though health being a state subject. So we have pleaded with the government at that moment to enact the central law, but which has not happened. Then again in 2020, when there was a huge, when the pandemic has approached in, even then there was assaults were happening because of the stringent, the strong force with which Indian Medical Association has forced the government to take in law. At that time, the Honorable Home Minister had an interactive session with the Indian Medical Association and brought in the Epidemics Amendment to the Epidemics Act and brought in the hospital healthcare protection into that. But again, the law was not showing the time frame for the execution of the law. There was no CRPC or IPC tag, and there was no details of who will do the procedure and how it will have to go. All the code of procedure was not incorporated. Again, it is not going in vain and not much of use. So at this category point of time, when somebody in an Assam, when a young chap, Dr. Suj, was assaulted brutally, and when the doctor in Lucknow was shot, when a doctor in Sikmagalur was brutally assaulted on the head, and so many incidents happening daily. And we have felt that it is enough, and we need to now rise to the occasion to ensure the safety atmosphere for our medical fraternity. I had, after the incidents in Assam, we talked with many of the youth of our doctors in this country. They were always saying that, doctor, you are talking about empathy, you are talking about compassion, you are talking about focus attention. How can we have that when we are seeing that our own colleagues, when they are treating for people coming in a terminally ill stage, are brutally being attacked and assaulted? How do we have the mindset to have that compassion? How do we have that empathy for these people? How do we have the focused attention to treat the people who are coming in a serious condition? And that agony which we could see from the minds of these youth, the perception they are having, the frustration they are going through, is really make us to feel. And this is the time that we need to rise up to the occasion, and we have to ensure that something secure and safety milieu is being created in this country. So we have sent a letter to the government. We have lobbied with the government. We have talked with the health secretary. We have sent a letter to the home minister. But so far there is not much of effort is taking place. I know for sure the government is considering, but they have not come out with anything positively on this. So at this moment, we need to come across, and not only we are getting assault on the physical, we are also getting assault on the profession by the unscientific, unscrupulous people, and taking the law into their hand, and they are making in sarcastic comments on the modern medical people, and that is also hurting us. They have no right to criticize modern medical people. They have no right to talk bad about and call the medicine as a stupid medicine, when we are following the standard of care which is enacted by the government of India. And it is unfortunate that somebody is calling this medicine as a stupid medicine. And we want all this kind, whether it's a verbal or the mental or the physical abuses which is catered on the medical profession to stop. How can we do that? How long we can tolerate this? And that is why now we have called for this united force of the protest across the country. Tomorrow, almost all the doctors across the country, irrespective of their association or affiliation, whether they are not only the people of IMA, we are seeing a lot of corporate hospitals, whether it is an Apollo Hospital, Fortis Hospital, Gangaram Hospital, or the Heart Care Foundations, all of them have assured that unitedly they are going to participate. Not only these doctors individually, association, whether it is an Association of Surgeons of India, Association of Physicians of India, the Radiological Association, the Dental Association, even some of the parts of the Nurses Association, Pharmacists Association, all they have felt that the need for something to be, the voice to be raised in unison and invoke the government to come out with a safety and protective law to ensure a safety milieu for all of us to work together. So this is not a physical war. This is not a war of show of strength. This is not a war where we are going to close down the hospital and make the people to suffer. And this is a war where we are going to show our mental strength and it's a psychological power. And to the government, and our heart and anguish and the pain has to be reverberated in the powers corridors, and that has to have the echo in their mind, and that has to be result in a safety and protection, central protection law. Friends, I thank you profusely for the efforts you are taking. I'm so happy to see in Delhi, in many parts of the Delhi, and almost every one of us are motivated. Every one of us is engaged in this, the mood of the protest tomorrow. I'm happy to see that that is happening. I must take profusely thanks the DMA President, Dr. Griwal, the Secretary, Dr. Ajay Gambhir, and all the office bearers of the IMA headquarters. We are there in the Delhi, the past National President, Dr. Vinay Agarwal, the Finance Secretary, Dr. Anil Goyal, the past HSCs, Dr. Rai, Dr. Shaini, Dr. Tandon, and our Action Committee convener, Dr. Monga, and all other people who are taking this as an important event and motivating all of us, uniting all of us, and echoing the sentiments of all of us to the government in a very positive way. I am really happy to see that this feeling and this vibration, which is enacted by all of you, will be echo and will be definitely result in the central protection law. We know that this July 1st is a Doctors' Day, which we celebrate across the country, and that is a deadline we are giving to the government of India, that the government should come forward and initiate the process to see to that before July 1st, something good is going to happen to this country. And we will be discussing after July 1st if there is no law or no safety is being ensured. And we will be also forced to take some hard decisions, like we will not be able to see the emergency cases, or we will not be able to see the people coming in a dire need of the acute healthcare to the people, because we cannot work with the fear of life and with the fear of death in our minds. And we have the motivation will come only when we are able to have in a safety and environment. So I once again take this opportunity to thank all of you for participating in this, and see to that tomorrow is a D-Day, the day that no one in this country, no doctor in this country, no healthcare profession in this country shall remain without raising the slogan that save the Saviour. It is for not only for you, it is for our children. It is for our future generation. It is for the health of every person of this country. When a doctor is attacked, it is not only the doctor who suffers. Thousands and millions of patients will also suffer. It will be taking away the life of a doctor will result in the disastrous healthcare condition. To stop that to happen, to prevent that to happen, to prevent the future environment, that all of us united together and stand in unison tomorrow and wear the black badge, black shirt or black mask, but raise the slogan, stop the violence on the profession and the professionals and save the saviors. Let this be heard by the government. Let it come out in a positive way. I once again thank you all and for this opportunity, and wish and hope to see a positive and vibrant echoing from you tomorrow. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Jayalal sir, for your words of wisdom, and you have captured very well the pulse of the masses and the feeling that is running across the line in amongst the doctors, and with the kind of resolve that you have set out, and with this tone, I think we will all work together and take it forward. I would have liked to have Dr. Lely over here, but I think he's unable to join. So in the meantime, we will carry on, and I invite Dr. G.S. Griwal, who is the President of Delhi Medical Association, our immediate parent organization. And we would like to hear from him the roadmap that Delhi has set up to follow in the coming few days in synchronization with the IMA headquarters. Dr. Griwal, sir, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dr. Poonam Gulati. A very warm welcome to our National President, Dr. Professor Jialal, Dr. Lele, the Honorary Secretary General, Dr. Anil Goyal, the Finance Secretary, and very warmly welcome to all the office bearers of IMA and DMA and local branches of Delhi. Thank you very much, National President, sir, for sparing your time. I will delve on 2-3 issues, sir. After all, people are asking why we want even the public and society to join us. I'd like you to I'll draw your attention to a few slides which I've made. And we all know about the famous Hippocratic Oath. It's an oath which ethics historically taken by physicians. It is one of the most widely known Greek medical texts. In its original form, it requires a new physician to answer by a number of healing gods to uphold specific ethical standards. We've all heard about the Hippocratic Oath. The oath has exemplified the fundamental modern ethical principles of beneficence, non-maleficence, and confidentiality. Its foremost message focuses on patients' best interests and not on the prohibition of surgery, euthanasia, or abortion, as is generally believed. Practitioners of modern medicine under the oath need to have an environment and systems in place to be in a position to deliver their services the way Honorable Shri Rabindranath Tagore once described it, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. And when knowledge is free, ladies and gentlemen, that is important. So any circumstance or situation created by lack of infrastructure, lack of safe environment, an overwhelming doctor-patient ratio, a physical threat or intimidation or injury, lack of government laws to protect healthcare workers and or to punish the guilty, and lastly and most recent, verbal attacks by quacks like Mr. Ramdev. Any of these situations, if they are created, it will not allow the physician to use his skill and knowledge appropriately, which shall affect the quality of the services that the physician is providing. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, it is most important that the violence is not just a medical doctor's issue. It is an issue on the quality of services to the public. And therefore, this movement is not just restricted to participation by the medical professionals, but also by the members of society. And the National President has given a call, and quite a few of our local branches in Delhi shall be interacting with the local resident welfare associations, the police, the responsible political leaders, not just amongst themselves. It is an important event in the history of our profession and our association, where we have taken up the clutches to ensure the quality of services. It is not our lives alone that we are asking to be protected. It is the freedom to excel, the freedom to allow ourselves to use our skill and knowledge. And that is at stake for the patient who comes to you with reverence and faith in you as a doctor and your skill as a professional. Therefore, I think it is the opportune time to commit yourselves to the profession and to the service of the nation, to produce quality services and make sure that we work in a safe environment. So I thank the South Delhi branch to have invited me and invited the National President and allowed an opportunity for interaction with people from all over the country. Thank you very much, National President, sir, once again. And thank you very much, Mr. President from South Delhi branch, Dr. Poonam Gulati, Dr. Bakshi, and Dr. Sachdeva. My pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Grewal, sir. And we all know that you are not restricted to any seat or any label or any badge or any position. You will join the cause of doctors from any point that you can. And we are very thankful to you for having us and interacting with us continuously. And we have seen the way you have handled this Mr. Ramdev's issue, and that you're going to take it to its logical conclusion. Dr. Jayesh Lele has joined, and we are very
good.
happy to have Dr. Lele over here. He's our Honorary Secretary General of the IMA. So, Dr. Lele, sir, are you able to hear us and be on the panel? Yes. So I now invite Dr. Jayesh Lele. He's our.
I will talk after 10 minutes. I'll just talk after 10 minutes.
Regarding his view of
this. He's saying he'll just talk after 5 minutes. Meanwhile, it is important that I inform everybody that every branch, the national president should be informed that every branch shall be filing a case against Ramdev, and we are very seriously taking up the issue of complaints against Ramdev, and very soon we will have complaints sent to the National Commission, to the Delhi Medical Council, to the Consumer Council, and to the police against different acts of criminality and civil which Mr. Ramdev has committed during his utterances. So we are taking them up very seriously from the Delhi Medical Association and along with all the branches. So I thought I must inform the national leadership and the entire country that Delhi Medical Association, along with its branches, is taking up the Ramdev issue very seriously, and we shall be filing complaints in all the 13, by all the 13 branches, in all the 9 districts with the metropolitan magistrates and police stations. Dr. Jayesh Lele, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Grewal, respected National President, the entire IMA Delhi team, all the state branches. I'm very happy and I'm very confident, first of all, that tomorrow's IMA protest day, what we have called for nationwide protest, and that it so good the arrangements are being made in Delhi. We will definitely be visiting at least some places, myself and Dr. Jayalal sir. We, as you know very well, and as Dr. Grewal sir have been discussing about the filing of the cases against this Ramdev, we will be very definitely careful, and whatever the evidences you need, you has the expert advocates in doing so. And Delhi itself is a very important and the capital. The issues will be taken up and heard very nicely. I am very confident that the various act which you had mentioned and SMS to me regarding the Delhi Medical Council also act is a very strong act that will be favorable, because such strong act is not there in the other councils. So the quack, especially the person like him who doesn't have a degree and who doesn't have any knowledge, is giving some comments which are very, even if he has withdrawn, the damage has been done. And the insult to the doctors cannot be accepted. And you have taken a very right decision that all the branches will come forward and file the necessary action. And this entire DMA will be forced against him, number one. Second thing, tomorrow's protest, yes, we are looking out for a very grand program wherein our protest will be heard. All the media, in fact, I was just now in the media conference only, because we appraised him that whatever is being done in Delhi, similar actions are being taken in various states. And I'm sure the entire states have been geared up, because last week we had every state meeting. All major president secretaries have given their plan of action. Various things are going to occur. In fact, some of the states are going to have a candle march. Some of them are going to have a small morchas wherever possible. And the action being taken and generated throughout India will see the light, and the government will definitely take a note of this. And I'm sure the government is going to do something about it very positively regarding this, because we have also from our side, we have given the 2019 draft act, which government itself had asked for it. And definitely during the corona, the way our members have treated and lost our nearly 1600 doctors has definitely shown to them that they cannot compare with the other professionals with doctors, because this is definitely a doctor is a different community. This is a war, which is our war is something like Kargil war, which was Kargil war ended in some days, but this is now for last 1.5 years the war is going on, and still we do not know when this kind of a war will end. So I am sure this tomorrow's protest day by all the Delhi branches, all the Delhi members will be a very strong protest, and it will entire states, other states also will give a very strong signal to the government about our intentions. I wish entire doctor community my best wishes regarding the act, which we feel that it is a very necessity and high time that this act should be given to us. Thank you, Dr. Grewal, sir. Thank you, the entire DMA president secretaries of the branches and other doctor leaders from the DMA. Thank you so much.
The Dr. Poonam Gulati is the President, Dr. Lele of South Delhi branch.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Gulati.
You saying something?
No, I was just informing Dr. Lele that Dr. Poonam Gulati is the President of South Delhi branch.
So, and I would like to thank Dr. Lele, and I would assure him that with this kind of multi-pronged attack from all sides, from using all our resources all over the country, I'm sure we will be successful in our approach. And I would also welcome, and I would like to invite Dr. Anil Goyal, who is the...
Yeah, I'm just asking him to be...
he has to be made the panelist. In the
Yeah.
meantime, one of our very senior members of the branch and who has held several important positions at DMA and IMA, Dr. Bakshi is the panelist, and he is able to take the mic, and he will share his views on this important issue. Dr. Bakshi, please.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Gulati. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Gulati, for inviting me. We at IMA SDB are honored that IMA headquarter and DMA have accepted our request to share the screen with us. And it asserts our belief that we, the general membership, are also heard. So this becomes a D-Day for us. I would not get an opportunity to raise a few issues or maybe one or two points to the IMA headquarters itself. Sir, we are not general masses to be appeased. We are only educated people and need focus on advocacy on our wonderful profession, which is lacking at some place. We would request for you to put your efforts to give protection to our member doctors during emergencies so that they can take care of their patients in a better way, take care of the membership's education and training, and help us in upgrading our output and quality of work. Then only this government is going to listen to us. Headquarters, I think, should highlight be auxiliary services being provided by our members, despite scarce resources and health risk to ourselves. I would wish to say that we all focus on our efforts and our upgradation, and I request the headquarters and assure them that our platform at IMA SDB is always open to any effort to doctor-friendly issues, and we are at your service. Thank you so much. Thanks, Dr. Grewal, for inviting us.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Bakshi. I think Dr. Goyal, they are trying to promote Dr. Goyal as the panelist. Dr. Anil Goyal, have you joined us?
Goyal already?
Dr. Goyal?
One second. I am promoting again, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I am promoting Dr. Goyal to the panelist.
Anil Goyal.
Yes, sir.
We just have another 5-7 minutes after this national president. We'll have, after Dr. Anil Goyal, we'll have the vote of thanks. Have you promoted?
Yes, sir. I'm just promoting.
Okay.
One second.
Yes, Dr. Goel is.
Yes, sir. Dr. Goel can talk, please. No, one second.
No, he's muted at the moment.
Yeah, I have allowed him for talking, sir. I'm not able to promote him. I think he has joined with the.
Dr. Goel, can you hear us? And
yeah. Dr. Goel, you will be able to unmute yourself and talk.
Dr. Goel, kindly unmute yourself. Dr. Anil Goel, kindly unmute yourself, please.
I think you'll have to ring him up.
Nahi ho raha?
No, I have given him the permission to unmute himself. I cannot unmute him. He will be able to unmute himself and speak.
Just a minute.
Can you call him, sir?
Yeah, I'll just call.
The person you have called is speaking to someone else. You can wait or call again later. आपने जिस व्यक्ति को कॉल किया है वो अन्य कॉल पर व्यस्त है। कृपया प्रतीक्षा करें या कुछ समय पश्चात प्रयास करें। The person you have called is speaking to someone else. You can wait or call again later. आपने जिस व्यक्ति को कॉल किया है वो अन्य कॉल पर व्यस्त है। कृपया प्रतीक्षा करें या कुछ समय पश्चात प्रयास करें। The person you're calling is not answering. Please try later.
No, we are not getting him. No, he's not. We're not being able to get through to him. Anyway, so I think we'll proceed. Dr. Gulati?
Yes.
Please proceed with the formal vote of thanks, because I'm sure National President has so many other meetings lined up. I can imagine how he and Dr. Jess Lele, they've got a war room. So they are all over the country. So I think
I consider Dr. Jayalal our family, and I don't think that for such an issue we should be saying that we are happy to have him here. It is a issue close to everybody's heart, and it is something that I'm sure he would prioritize above all else, and we have no doubt about that.
Goel is there. Dr.
With
Goel?
that, I hand over the mic to Dr. Sanjeev Sajdeva.
Dr. Goel, are you listening, please?
Pardon?
No, Dr. Goel is there on the panel. He can't unmute himself. Anyway, so Dr. Jayalal, we can't unmute himself, so we'll have to close now. Is that okay, sir?
Yeah, no.
No, okay. So you can invite Dr. Gulati.
Yes, yes. Dr. Sanjeev Sajdeva, please.
Sanjeev sir.
First of all, thank you, Professor Jayalal, Dr. Lele, Dr. Bobby sir, and all the participants for joining us in preparation of this event, which we are going to have tomorrow. And we hope that the government listens to us and we stop from being the punching bags of the public. Those punching bags behind which the government keeps hiding its inefficiencies and the corporates their greed. But Jayalal sir, one thing is very sure: we are running out of these peaceful protests. You know, they have been used so many times previously, and without much results. So earlier we get results, the better it would be. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you very much.
We have young blood in us, sir. We have the young blood in us.
And the fighting spirit.
Yes, fighting spirit.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Pleasure, sir.
More than 100 people are there.
We are closing the webinar.